So I'm going to guess that you may be having some concerns with the ethical theories that we've explored so far, that you may look at those relativistic ethical theories, so subjectivism, emotivism, cultural relativism, and their lack of any kind of grounding or centering notion of truth or objective value seems kind of sketchy, right? It's sort of like the Wild West of ethics, where potentially anything goes as long as those who are in power say so. And the troubling feature of those ethical theories is that they don't provide any basis from which we can actually challenge the moral claims that those in power make. And that feels very destabilizing to a lot of folks. And if that's how you're responding to those relativistic theories, I think that's a pretty healthy response. And in fact, there was an article published in the Journal of Applied Cognitive Psychology in January of 2025 that looked at the correlations between having a postmodern worldview and the relativistic theories that we discussed, subjectivism, emotivism, and cultural relativism would all be categorized as postmodern worldviews. So anyway, this study looks at correlation between postmodern worldviews and experiences of anxiety, distress, depression, and tendencies toward authoritarianism. And they found there's really strong correlations between those things and having a postmodern worldview. And that makes some sense, right? Because if there is no rationally defensible grounding principle or value for our ethical claims, then it would seem like the only thing that would really matter is the pursuit of power. And so if this sort of the whatever worldview where we have to recognize my truth and my lived experience and embrace these relativistic ethical theories makes you uncomfortable, I get it. Ethical egoism provides that centering principle, right? The individual best interest. That's what we're going to use as the basis for determining what the right thing to do is. But again, some are going to be uneasy with that because they're going to wonder, like, well, what's really the difference between my self-interest and being selfish? And couldn't my self-interest just be the way that I sort of justify what I really selfishly want? And then others are going to look at that theory, ethical egoism, and they're going to say, I'm not even sure it's really an ethical theory, right? Because when I think of ethical theories, I think, what are the principles that should guide me in my interactions with others? And recognizing that others have some kind of value. And ethical egoism doesn't really do that. In ethical egoism, the value that others have to us is simply as a means to pursuing our own ends. So if you're not digging any of these ethical theories so far, that seems reasonable to me. This week, what we're going to do is look at another consequentialist ethical theory, right? So ethical egoism is a consequentialist ethical theory. This week, we're going to look at utilitarianism, another consequentialist ethical theory. And this thought primer is very similar to the thought primers that you've already completed, with one difference, and that is that you're going to begin this thought primer by doing some reading. And you're going to hopefully have your quiz open as you're doing your reading. And then you're going to be responding to some questions that you're going to submit to me through the Canvas, or through the Thought Primer number 4 assignment page. All right, so you're going to do your reading first, and then you're going to respond to some questions. The first 2 questions draw on the readings. Okay, that's why you're doing the responding to questions after you do the readings, not before. The third question asks you to respond to 2 very short videos that appear below it. And then you've got some video lectures that you'll watch, and of course we'll participate in the discussion on the Canvas discussion board. You'll see here at the top that I've once again reminded you, like, hey, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you download a copy of the Ethical Inquiry number 1 assignment prompt, because you're going to see on that assignment prompt some questions that you're going to be addressing in a few weeks that are related to this week's topic. So it'll be really good for you to know what those questions are that you're going to be responding to in a few weeks so that you can be taking notes now as you're exploring the issues. All right, so have a great week. And as always, if anything comes up, just shoot me an email.